All right, I want to thank you all for coming. Please have a seat. Yes, as the marketing team, you know me, the CEO of Big Abrasive. As we talked about 2 weeks ago, our scientists in the laboratory have come up with something new. We're calling it sandpaper. I know, hold your questions. It does not contain sand. All of you got a prototype 2 weeks ago, as well as a list of questions on things that we would like to use to help market this. Now, as you'll notice, all of these things are brown. All of them are roughly abrasive material on a brown paper. However, you'll also notice that I gave you a variety of what we're calling grits. These are going to remove different amounts of material. One of the problems the scientists had is that we need to differentiate them somehow. We'd like to sell them both in combo packs and individually. So I've given you all a task of helping me differentiate these. Let's start with you. What did you come up with? Thank you so much, sir. As you know, as a marketing team, we all got together and we decided to come up with a way of differentiating these. We're going to go with color, different colors. Now, we all split up after that and decided to choose our own color. So we're going to go through in grit size. First, I have 60 grit, very low, very rough. So I went with something pretty stark, a dark purple. Love it. Love it. It's easy to tell apart. It's very dark. Dark is rough. Dark purple for 60 grit. Wow, that is a lovely color, Mike. Sir, I also chose a color. It is also going to be purple, but a slightly less dark purple, meaning it is slightly less rough than the 60 grit, 150 grit purple, but not quite as dark, not quite as rough. Wow, that was excellent, Kevin. I just want to say I love that color. Sir, I've got my own color here. Now, I've presented you with two options. I am 220 grit, slightly less abrasive. Two wonderful options here. Also a purple, but not quite as dark of a purple. As you can see, this gives us a lighter feel. We're not removing as much material, a lighter purple. I just want to say you guys are so inspiring. Sir, I came up with one as well. It's an even lighter purple. Look at that, it's a little bit lighter. This is 400 grit. Less abrasive than 220, 150, and 60. So I wanted a slightly lighter purple. I know, I love it, you love it, everybody will love it. Okay, thank you 400, I love that. Lighter purple. Let's move on to 600. Let's see what you got, let's round this out. I love that color so much. Now, sir, I have 600 grit, and even more fine abrasive. So we really need to make sure people can tell them apart because they start getting very smooth the farther up we go. You can't tell as easily from feeling it. At 600 grit, I went with a slightly lighter purple. Now, I know it's amazing. It's even lighter than the 400 grit. I know you love it, but hold out. There's more. So lighter shade of purple. Okay, lighter shade of purple. Okay, because we all love our color choices so much, and we know that you love them too, we decided to add a little extra. On the back, we will write which grit it is. Now, we'll only put a few places on here. So if you happen to cut it up, you may struggle to understand which one this is. But we'll label it in, like 4 or 5 places across this whole sheet. And that'll help you really easily differentiate. You just grab the right color you're looking for and you know right off the bat what the grit is. I think it's just been a wonderful, wonderful time coming up with these. We are so excited to see how these do in production. All right, thank you everyone for coming. You know what, great job. I can tell that this group has a color favorite, but I think overall, I can tell you guys did a really good job of differentiating these. So especially at a distance, it'll be easy to tell what you are using. And I love the idea of only putting the ink in a few places on the back. I think that's a great way to save money. I also love using the purple, everything purple, because that way we just need to dilute the purple. We don't have to buy other colors. Again, I love saving money. Now, we also talked about our discs that we're going to use on power sanders. I wonder if any of you have come up with a pitch for that yet. I know I wasn't planning to get to this until next week, but I would love to hear what you've got so far. Actually, yes, sir, we did come up with some ideas for the sanding disc for the orbital sanders. Now, the first one, don't worry, this will also be purple. This is a prototype red so that we can tell the difference of the grit. Now, this one is pretty simple here. We apply grit all over this disc. We have a few holes cut in here so that the dust can go up and into the sander. It's very basic, very standard. It works well. People have been using it for a long time. We're going to continue using it as well. Now, let's get on to number 2. Number 2 here, also purple, of course. But what we're going to do here is we're going to take away a bunch of the grit. We're going to put this on a mesh-like pattern, And then we're going to say that with half the grit but the mesh, you'll actually get better sanding done because more of the dust will come up and into the sander. Now, of course, we don't want to ruin our ability to sell non-mesh, so we're going to kind of word this such that neither one really takes a shot at the other one. Since we are, of course, selling both, we will charge a little bit less for the mesh, but not half the price, of course, because we are here to make a lot of money. But these are our two ideas right now: mesh, no mesh. We say the no mesh is great and the mesh is great, and we say they solve each other's problems, but that they are both perfect. I really hope those sound good to you, sir. We, of course, can workshop this later. Wow, that is, can I actually see those for a minute? All right, let me, wow. Now this is genius, both mesh and no mesh. Now, of course, we've got many different demographics. We've got younger people, high-tech people. They love the idea. We'll call it laser cut. We'll say there's cubes instead of diamonds shapes, and it will be the tech thing, the cool, hot new thing. And then we've got the grizzled old people who love to buy our sandpaper, and they don't want none of that mesh. They want that solid grit packed in there, and we are gonna make so much money. It's gonna be wild. Anyways, we will convene again next week. And again, remember, we need to get a different shade for this. Another purple, please. Okay, you guys have been excellent. You've convinced me. Purple is the color we're gonna go with for everything. Thank you for coming in. All right, let's get to lunch. You know what? I think today, a little less noise. Let's just use the hand plane. Let's have this nice and peaceful and quiet. People always say hand tool woodworking is so easy. It's so relaxing. No problem. Let's just get going here. Okay, nope. Gonna need some wax. All right, gonna back that off a little bit. Too heavy a shaving. Nope, not enough. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, not bad. Oh, we're a little heavy on the right. All right, we'll adjust that a little bit. Nope. Way too heavy there. Let's go back. Okay, nope, we did it too much. All right, let's go back again. Just a little tap, Whoa, that's way too much. Okay, go back again. Still too much. Okay, maybe I need to retract the blade a little bit. Okay, we're getting there. This is so relaxing. I love this. Okay, now that's looking pretty nice. Oh, you know what? I think that's a bit heavy on the left. Let's go back a little more. Wow, okay. That's still a little heavy, you know. Ooh, do I have a nick in my blade? Oh, I gotta go sharpen again. Wow, you know, I love sharpening so much. Let's add a little more wax. We'll just ride through it. Got a nice 2x4 here. We're gonna turn this into a beauty. All right, a little too heavy on the right. We're gonna adjust that again. Oh, okay, I think we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, what is happening here? Now that is a shaving. Let's check this out. Oh, sweet Jesus. All right. That's really bad. Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to get the planer out. You are wonderful, but I think I'm going to get the planer out. Wow, I got my first table saw finally, and I got the red blade that everybody on the internet said to get the red blade. Which way does this go? Does it? Okay, it doesn't say this side out. Okay, we've got a rotation. Well, they put the label on this side. Companies like their labels facing other people so that people can see. So they wouldn't want their label facing inward because then if somebody walked by, they couldn't see the label. So it must go like this, right? I mean, obviously, that has to be it. They would put this side out if it was the other side. I mean, they wouldn't just leave it blank. You know, for beginner users, obviously the label goes on the outside, right? So, okay, we'll just put the label on the outside because that's normal. You know, like on my laptop, the logo's upside down so that when I open it up, other people can see it, of course, right? I want them to know what laptop I have. Free advertising. So, okay, label on the outside. This should be awesome. My cuts are going to be so clean. It's going to be amazing. The motor in this puppy, it's going to just roll right through this. Got it. Label on the outside. No problem. Okay. Wow, that was shockingly hard to push through there. But I've never used a table saw before, so I guess that whoa. Whoa, that is that I think it's burnt. Is that well, I guess that makes sense. It's going through fast and like heat and stuff. So I guess that's normal for it to burn. I don't know. I guess that's what sandpaper's for, right? Sandpaper or the hand plane. Like I had so many people like, you gotta get a hand plane or else you're not a real woodworker. So I guess they were right. I guess I need to spend more money on a hand plane and to remove the burning because that, I mean, I think everything else here is set up right. Obviously the blade, label on the outside, that's clearly obvious. Why would anyone not put the label on the outside? I don't know why it said rotation. I know it rotates. Obviously it's rotating. It's not going up and down. So I'm glad they reminded me that it rotates. Well, I'm going to get on Reddit. I'm going to complain about my tools and people will call me an idiot and I'll tell them they're idiots. And I can't wait to do this again. This was so much fun cutting this piece of wood. And now I have to clean up the burning. Awesome. All right, one last screw to put in there. All right. One last one to... No! No! I'm never going to find this. I knew I should have been sweeping my floors. There's an extra one on the... No, they didn't give an extra one. All right, time to get the magnet out and we're gonna go fish around on the floor for a while. I hope these screws are magnetic. All right, no biggie, no biggie, we'll find it, we'll find it. We got the magnet. Well, that's no biggie. I'll just order another one. I mean, it's a tiny little screw. What does it cost? 3 cents? Okay, we're just going to order a little replacement screw here. No biggie. All right, label facing out because everyone else, I want them to make sure they know exactly what I bought. Always label out. Okay, let's get on. You know what? We'll just check Amazon here. Tiny, we'll just call it tiny hinge screw. All right. And oh, okay. There they are from a company called Biguando or Gizgaba. Okay. Okay, there we go. Wow, $50. What? I have to buy 200 of these? Do they not? Is there no other? I can buy 200, 600, or 1,000. Well, let's check Ace Hardware. Let's check Ace Hardware. No, they don't sell those. Okay, Home Depot. Okay, no, Home Depot doesn't. Lowe's? Nope, no Lowe's. Okay, well, I'll get 200, I guess. I'll probably use them for a lot of other stuff. Like it's a 2mm screw. I'll use that all the time. Okay, add to cart. Wow, that's a lot of money. But, you know, it's for a good, we're going to finish this box off. I don't want to go without a screw in a box. All right, add to cart and order. Okay, well, you know, it is what it is. We got to get a replacement screw. You got to do what you got to do. All right, label down, and we'll call it at that. Cancel, cancel. You know, I think I'm going to add another shelf in here. Let's just get some rough measurements. Okay, so that's like 19 and like half a tick past the 32nd minus the 16th. Okay, so, okay. And that's like 14 and 1.5 128ths. Okay. Okay, what about what we got depth here? Okay, that's like 19 and 13 128ths. Okay, got that all down, better write that down. Okay, so 19 and 13 128, 17 and 16.25 256, and 20 and 3 and a little less than a half of a 32nd. All right, so I'll just add all that up and I'll know how much wood I need to buy, and that'll be good. So if we convert 13 into 64, okay, so 20 what is that? No, that's like 26 and a half, 64. So okay. Carries 17 and 6.5, 256. So 17, 200, okay. So 20 and 3 and a little under a half of a 32nd. Okay. You know what? This is why America is the best, because we have the best measuring system, and anyone who complains and says the metric is better, hello, look at our aircraft carriers. Do you want to mess with aircraft carriers? I don't think so. This is perfection. SAE. Love it, use it, or we'll aircraft carrier you.